Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the 2010 film Meek's Cutoff, directed by Kelly Reichardt. I love this film. It's very slow, but it's gripping. It's minimalist, but it's a masterpiece, a real work of art. I've been going back and looking at some of Reichardt's older films in the context of her new film, The Mastermind, which I've done a separate review on. Meek's Cutoff follows a small group of settlers crossing the Oregon Desert in 1845. Their guide is Meek, who insists he knows the way, but they become lost in an arid, unforgiving landscape with dwindling supplies and no clear direction. Their faith in him collapses and it becomes a quiet struggle between trust, fear, and survival. It may sound strange to say that the film is gripping. It's told largely through silence, gesture, and endurance. It's stripped back, patient, and completely committed to showing what it would actually mean to cross that landscape on foot with wagons, not as a glorious quest of conquering the West, but as a hard, thirsty, anxious trudge through uncertainty. The film really understands exhaustion. You feel the heat, the dust, the doubt. The visual choice to use a narrow frame is interesting. Despite being in this massive expanse of land, the narrow format makes the settlers feel contained, almost trapped, while the land around them feels endless. Instead of the wide cinemascope Western that celebrates the frontier, this is a Western that says you're nothing out here. On the other hand, numerous modern films these days are using narrow formats rather than filling the screen. For me, this is a film that would have benefited from the conventional widescreen format. It's just a personal view. I love a big screen, but I think I can respect what Reichardt was trying to do here. What I really like in this film is the point of view. This is a Western told from the perspective of the women who are watching the men get it wrong. The men debate and posture, the self-confident guide leads them in circles, and the women stand slightly back, observing, knowing that the cost of male certainty is often paid by others. It never preaches, it's simply there in the way the camera stays with the women, and in the way their patience eventually becomes action. Michelle Williams anchors it, as she does in all her collaborations with Reinhardt. She plays a woman who's neither romantic nor sentimental, but alert, intelligent, and ready to act when the men's authority collapses. It's a quiet performance that really carries the film. It's very clever how such a minimalist film can be made so gripping. The tension comes from very simple things: water levels falling, travelling long distances with no obvious end, a guide who may or may not know where he's going, the arrival of a Native American figure who may be a threat or may be their only hope. Reichardt shows that you can build suspense from silence, from walking, from the possibility of getting lost. It's a masterclass in economy. There are some things in the film which are just exquisite. There are numerous long scenes where people are walking from one side of the screen to the other in this vast emptiness. And there's one particularly amazing background transition from clouds to hill. It's one of those films also where small sounds are very significant. The long scenes of walking are accompanied by a small, repetitive squeak of the wheel. There's a scene where a woman is pouring water into a birdcage. The water noises are so gentle and subtle. Exquisite is the only word to describe this. I guess that some people would find this film boring, but for me it's an absolute masterpiece. It's not just as a work of art that this film is great. There's also a clear allegorical layer. It's about the American project, about people who set out with confidence, follow a leader who speaks loudly, and then find that he has no idea where the path is. It's about misplaced trust in authority, about faith in progress that isn't matched by knowledge. The film does this very quietly, but nevertheless it's there, and it's really effective. For me, this is Reichardt at her absolute best, Rigorous, exact, completely in control of tone. It's a story about the American frontier, but it's not an adventure. It's a fresh take, a study of fragility, of gender, of power, of what happens when belief in the guide falls away. More than that, it's beautifully poetry, a real work of art. I highly recommend this film. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.